What's going on, everyone? So the Los Angeles Lakers take on the Philadelphia 76ers in hopes to try to get things back on track, right? The Lakers were looking really good. Anthony Davis ends up getting sick. They end up losing. LeBron James ends up sitting out for the second game of back-to-back. We get just ran out the building by the Toronto Raptors, which was expected. You know, you didn't have winning Gabriel, LeBron James, Anthony Davis, when you basically have all your size out and you're playing arguably the biggest team in the league. That's usually what the result's going to be, right? It looked like a college team playing a bunch of freshmen in high school, right? It just didn't look very good. And the Lakers, they put up a fight as much as they could, but unfortunately it wasn't enough to be real competitive in that game. But LeBron James is coming back. He is returning against the Sixers. Obviously, he's been dealing with some ankle issues, some ankle problems. We've watched like 5 straight games where somebody's like landed on his ankle, or he's like landed on somebody's foot, or just rolled or tweaked his ankle. So hopefully he can kind of get back into the swing of things. And we need LeBron to be LeBron. We need LeBron to continue to just thrive with this team. Not be so LeBron-centric as he was in the beginning of the season, right? He's done a better job since coming back from the original injury where he missed like 10 days or whatever. When he came back, he was within the scope of the offense, right? He was getting his points. He was picking and choosing. Also, LeBron needs to get some fouls, please. Like, seriously, I don't know what it is with the refs and LeBron not calling fouls. It's just mind-blowing to me. And look, I'm not even talking about the superstar whistle that most superstars get, right? Like, superstars usually get that, like, very favorable whistle. I'm not even talking about that. Just a fair whistle. Like, can LeBron just get at least a fair whistle? Like, I understand it might be at times hard to kind of, ref LeBron in the fouls. It's just like the whole Shaq thing, right? When you're talking about Shaquille O'Neal, like, even refs said, like, it was impossible to ref Shaq because every single possession he was fouled. So literally they were like, it would be a free throw contest with Shaquille O'Neal to decide who wins or loses, right? So I do understand LeBron, he's bigger, faster, stronger than everybody. So when he puts his head down, he's just moving people out the way. But you gotta, come on, I saw a stat and it was like he's had like 44 shot attempts in the paint and only like 16 total free throws, which is just mind-blowing. Like, so he's basically going to the free throw line like once out of every 10 attempts. It's insane. It's insane, right? Like, it makes no sense to me that, like, that's how LeBron's being reffed. And even like Russ isn't getting any calls. He gets to the paint, he gets like clobbered, and like they don't really call it. It's just they really need to start reffing LeBron and Russ and the rest of the guys fairly, right? I'm not saying like every possession go give them free throws, right? Because these guys still have to finish. Like, LeBron's still got to finish at the rim. Russ has still got to finish at the rim. But, at least, again, a fair whistle would be nice. But LeBron, outside of that, he's done a very good job of just being facilitator, picking and choosing where he's getting his points, where he's getting his buckets. Obviously, if Davis plays, then game plan is to let Davis be dominant, especially going up against Embiid. Like, you want to see that dominant Anthony Davis. If Anthony Davis doesn't play today, then we need an aggressive LeBron, right? I'm not saying that LeBron shouldn't just, don't pass to anybody and just take 23 points, right? Like, don't do that. But, we need a LeBron that's going to go out and get us probably 30 plus if we're going to have any opportunity and chance to win this game. And we really can't afford to keep losing these games. The Raptors game, I understood. I knew and even said here on this channel that they were going to sit LeBron and Davis against the Raptors. Like, I didn't think anybody would play against the Raptors. Problem was, you lost the game earlier, and that because of that, you lose to the Cavs because Anthony Davis is out, and that was a winnable game for the most part until last 2 minutes, 3 minutes, whatever. That was a game that you were supposed to win. You're supposed to beat the Cavs and then rest everybody for the Raptors game, and then you're good. And then also it shines a light on the Pacers loss, right? It's just a tough pill to swallow looking back at just these last few games. But regardless, we're still there, right? We're still only like 4 games out of like 4th place or whatever. The West is so wide open. Outside of like the top 4 teams, everybody's just kind of equal, right? And hopefully Anthony Davis, he comes back tonight and we can kind of just get back on track, beat the Sixers. Sixers haven't been very good this year, even when they've had Harden and Embiid and everybody. So I think that this is a very winnable game. I think the Lakers can beat the Sixers, but if I'm being honest, I think we need need Anthony Davis to do that. Like if we don't have Anthony Davis, I don't think it's impossible that we beat the Sixers, but it's just going to make things so much more challenging, right? Embiid is going to just eat, Damian Jones and Thomas Bryant alive. So then you got to kind of like stop and slow down everyone else, but it's just, I don't know, it's tough. You really need Anthony Davis because Anthony Davis is kind of the equalizer, right? Anthony Davis comes in, has a good game, a big game, Joel Embiid, they have their back and forth. It's the battle of the bigs. Plus, it's just, primetime TV. That's what you want, right? You want to see that showdown, that matchup. It would be exciting just to see it and watch it. And, even especially fans at the game. But then on top of that, Anthony Davis, if he has a monster game, then he's going to be good enough to keep us in the Sixers game. And then LeBron chimes in and he does what he does. And then Russ comes in, Russ does what he does. And hopefully the role players are knocking down shots. I really think that this is a game that is winnable, but we need Anthony Davis. I would really like to see us close out strong on this sort of road trip, kind of get back to like where we should have been. I really wanted to get, and I really thought we'd get to 500 by the end of the road trip, but obviously, Anthony Davis ends up getting sick. He's human, and I know a lot of people kind of hold that against him, but he's done a great job this year of being available, playing every game, all that stuff. People get sick, and it's that time of the year, everyone's getting sick, and NBA has all the health and safety now and all the stuff when it comes to illness and sickness and stuff. So it's not like how it used to be where hey, I got the flu, I'll just go play. It's not like, it's a lot more strict than it's ever been, right? Because they want to keep these players healthy. They want to keep them, from getting sick, stuff like that. So I don't really knock Anthony Davis, but he needs to return at some point, and hopefully it is tonight against the Sixers because that would be a huge boost for this Laker team, and hopefully we can kind of get back to where we were before this whole Davis and LeBron missing games. And now Russell Westbrook, we need a big game from Russ. Embiid obviously is a monster down low shot blocking, but Russ needs to attack him. Russ needs to go after him. We need a better game from Russ, right? Especially if you don't have Anthony Davis. We need a big game from Russ. We're going to need Russ to give us, 20 and 12 or something like that if we're going to beat the Sixers. I do believe he could do that, and the last game was kind of disappointing just because I really thought Russ was going to have a monstrous game. I didn't think we'd necessarily win the game, but I wanted more from Russ. I was a bit disappointed from Russ. But to be fair, they didn't start him, which was surprising. I don't know why he didn't start him. And by the time Russ came in the game, they were down 11-0. And it's like, okay, well, Russ, now we need you to turn it around here. We need you to kind of get us back into this game. It was just, I didn't really understand the starting lineup choice. I would have started Russ. You don't have LeBron or AD. Get Russ going early so that way he could kind of keep us in the game. And then maybe he would have had a monster game. But still, regardless, He played minutes. He was in the game. We need more from him, especially if you don't have Anthony Davis. We really need Russ to have a monster game. We really need Russ to come in and, be the facilitator, but also be able to get buckets, especially at the rim. His shot hasn't really fallen as of late, so that's kind of been a struggle of his. He started the season really good. He was our best three-point shooter at one point. He was shooting 42%, 43% through the first 15 games or whatever. And he's kind of just cooled off since then. But I do think, and even his free throw shooting, that's something else. His free throw shooting has been pretty bad. He was 85% or something like that before this little stretch. And he hasn't been good shooting the ball, period. Which hurts at times, but nobody's really been shooting the ball well very recently, right? Over the last handful of games, even Walker and Reeves has been struggling bad, and he was our model of consistency when it came to the Lakers. So I expect Reeves, if Reeves can kind of get back into the flow of his things, Walker can kind of get back into the flow of his game, Schroeder, if he can continue to be aggressive and put up points, I think the Lakers could be in the position to win this game with or without Anthony Davis. Now, obviously, you want Anthony Davis, you want LeBron James. We need these guys to come in, perform, play big, and carry this team. I really think that this is a game that we're getting to the point where we have to start winning games, right? We went on a nice little stretch. We were 7-3 over our last 10, but it's now's the time, and especially right now with everybody kind of struggling. No team in the West is really that good, that dominant. Even from we're in, 13th place, something like that, something terrible. We're still only 6 games out of first place. So it's not like the top teams are so far and away better than us that, like, we have no way of catching. I don't think we're going to finish, top 3 in the West, but we should be, realistically, I think, with this team currently constructed. We'll see what happens come December 15th. That deadline starting to approach rapidly here. We're, 6 days away. So that'll be interesting. But regardless, even the team currently constructed, I think, is at least, a 5 or 6 seed in the West. I think with the way we have seen these guys play, they're a playoff team, at least, right? I think they're still better than, like, a handful of teams in the Western Conference, but they have to start getting W's. They have to start winning games. We every game is crucial at this point, right? Because we started off so badly. When you start the season 2-10, that's usually a bad sign, that, hey, we can't really lose these gimme games. Not saying that Philly's a gimme game, but like the Pacers and stuff like those are games that you should have won. And then the Raps, like, we should have beaten the Cavs. We should have beaten Toronto. Problem is LeBron and Davis, they end up not playing, or, Davis for the Cavs game and then LeBron and Davis for the Raptors game. And it's like, we're giving away wins that are actual winnable games. I hope that we can kind of right the ship, get back on track, because our schedule doesn't get any easier in December. Our schedule continues to be really tough in December, and we're going to have to beat some good teams. We're going to have to win some big games. We're going to have to win some tight games, some hard games. So hopefully we can get that start tonight. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, so I pass the question on to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section below. What do you think? Do you think the Lakers win without Anthony Davis? Do you think they have no chance? Do you think that they win if they have Anthony Davis? Or do you think, like, no, they're probably still losing this game? What do you think is going to be the result? What do you think is going to end up happening? However you feel, whatever your thoughts and opinions are on these Sixers and Lakers game, I'd love to hear them. Let me know down in the comment section below.